Clay Burdett here with head men's basketball coach Blake Mellinger. Coach, we're only a few days away from start of the season. You play King to start off the year on Friday, November 11th. How are we feeling after finishing up a few scrimmages going into your first game?
Yeah, I mean, we're excited for the year. Obviously, these first couple games, everything's kind of an unknown. They've got a lot of different personnel. We've got different personnel. So you kind of anticipate how they're going to play, but you don't really know because you haven't seen them on film much. So we're just gonna have to show up Friday and Saturday ready to play.
So I want to speak on your returners just a little bit. Joel Pettiford, arguably being one of your biggest threats, named to the All-Freshman team last year. In January, he led the country in field goal percentage, averages around 11 points a game for you guys. So speak on him a little bit and what you've seen from him in practice and what you expect from him this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think really it's just kind of more of the same. He's a guy that has the ability to be really efficient on the offensive end. I think one thing for him, he's got to rebound a little better, which I definitely think he can and he will. And we got to keep him on the floor. We got to keep him out of foul trouble. I think that's one thing that really hindered him there, particularly in the second half of the season last year, is we just couldn't keep him on the floor because he stayed in foul trouble. So he's got to be a little better on the defensive end. And again, I think he will be. And, with that, I think he'll be a lot more productive.
So I think Brad Dean is also another key returner that comes to mind. He played a ton of minutes for you guys last year, led the team with 3.4 assists per game. Speak on him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's, if not our best player, one of our best players. He's a guy that can really, really score it from the perimeter. And I think, he can score it multiple ways. If you look back to his last game at the end of the season last year, I think he had 38 against Catawba there, the last game of the year. And, he can score at multiple levels. He can hurt you from the 3-point line. He's really good at getting to the spots off the dribble and has a really good mid-range game. And then, I think we put better pieces around him too. That's going to open up the floor a little bit for him and give him more scoring opportunities.
So I guess an unfortunate loss this year will be Isaiah McCamus. Obviously, you guys won't have him this year due to a knee injury. Won't play any minutes from what I assume. So talk about the loss of him and how that's going to impact you guys, because I could see him as another versatile player.
Yeah, it does. It hurts us a lot, truthfully. He's a guy that just has a lot of experience. He's played a ton of minutes his first 2 years here for us. Really high basketball IQ, has a really good understanding of what we're trying to do when we're out on the floor. And then, he can really stretch the floor on the offensive end. I think if I'm not mistaken, he was either first or second in 3-point field goal percentage in the league last year. So it's a big blow to us, but we've just got to have other guys step up and fill that void.
So some other remaining returners, you've got Ben Bryson, Hensley, you got Zach Owens, Jakari Taylor, Yacinth is a big one, Grayson Honaker also another big one. So what promise have you seen in these scrimmages coming into the new season from those people as well?
Yeah, I think it starts with Ben. Ben's had a really good preseason. He's another guy has a lot of experience for us, and third year player, started a lot of games. Another guy that has a really good understanding of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish when we're out on the floor on both ends, on the offensive and defensive end. And then those other guys, they're coming along well too. Both of them were first year players last year. When you talk about Curve and Grayson, so I think they need to take that next step. They kind of got their feet wet, so to speak, as freshmen. Now we need them to take that next step and continue to progress.
Not only do you have those returners that are going to be key for you guys, but I mean, you have a large amount of new faces as well, including, I think, a huge get for you guys was Coburn native Luke Lawson. He's a D1 transfer from UNC Asheville. He played quite a bit in your scrimmages, but what role do you think he's going to play this year? Where is he going to fill in the gaps? And especially due to his previous experience, how is he going to help you guys?
Yeah, he's going to play a massive role. He's a fifth-year player, played at a really high level for 4 years. Really, really high basketball IQ. So even though he's kind of new to our system, he has a really good understanding of what we're trying to do. And, in some ways, he's kind of a unicorn, particularly from an offensive standpoint. He can really shoot the ball, but he's also got the size and versatility to rebound, to score inside, to score over top of people. So, we have really high hopes for him. I think he's got a chance to have a really big impact for us.
Any of your other freshmen or transfers that have stuck out with you in the preseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of our strengths is going to be our experience, and particularly our experience in the front court. If you look at Jason Brooks, he's another fifth-year player, and then Ron Ukaj, he's a junior college transfer, but this is his fourth year in college. So both of those guys they've seen a lot of games at the collegiate level, and they've kind of been through it. What a lot of people don't realize is just how long the college basketball season is, and they're going to have a good understanding of how to handle the ups and downs, and kind of what goes into getting through a season that lasts so long. I think our season, unlike most, it lasts close to 5 months. So there's a lot of ups and downs. You got to be able to handle the ebbs and flows of the season, and not get too high, not get too low, and having those two guys out there with the amount of experience they have, I think is really going to be beneficial for us.
How is that going to help out your true freshmen, such as like Zion Fruster and Shelley? So people like that, how is that going to impact them, leading them into because sack play is obviously it's a whole new ball game. I mean, it's tough coming from high school play to sack play. I mean, it's very difficult. So talk about how that's going to help them integrate into the system there.
Yeah, I think more than anything, it gives having those older guys. It gives those guys, it gives them somebody to lean on when things kind of get tough, or maybe we hit like a bump in the road, or not just from a basketball standpoint, but again, seasons are long. Like practices get long. Maybe you're struggling with something off the court, just trying to get through your first college semester.
Yeah.
Those guys have kind of a foundation in our older guys to lean on and kind of ask for advice, and really help them accept those challenges.
So speaking of sack play a little bit, the conference changes a little bit this year with the addition of Emory and Henry into the conference. That matchup, I feel like, is always a huge rivalry. So how do you think that Southwest Virginia battle is going to impact you guys in conference play? How's that going to help you out and get your guys pumped up for the year?
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people like to make a big deal out of it, and I guess in some ways it is, but you know, truthfully, it's just another game for us. Obviously, at that point in time of the year, it's going to be the most important game because it's going to be the next game on the schedule. But it's not something we're sitting here like we've got this game circled because it's Emory and Henry. That game's really no more or less important than any other game we play. It's just I think it's brings a lot more attention and things like that for people outside of the program, and I think that's good. I think it's good for the area. It's good for both schools, but just in terms of the way we approach it, it's just another game on the schedule that we've got to be ready to play.
I gotcha. Thank you so much for speaking with me today, Coach. The Cavs begin their new season on Friday, November 11th in the Conference Carolina South Atlantic Conference Challenge. Check out all the action on our website and through Flow Sports. Thanks again, and good luck this year.
All right. Thanks, Chloe.